guys, it's me, DoughCake28, and, well, like, I'm going to be telling you guys about my dolls. This is basically what dolls mean to me. Well, first of all, let me start by saying, you're looking at an edited picture of Claire. She looks pretty much the same, but, it's whatever, I mean, you know? Anyway, so, and she was my first ever American Girl type doll. She's not an American Girl doll. She's a Springfield Collection Olivia. But and I got her on October 28th, 2010. And I was 10 and I was in the 5th grade, and that's basically the whole story behind her. So I was with my grandma and grandpa at like their church bazaar. I don't know why they call it a bazaar, because bazaar is really another word for weird. Anyway, and so this lady, her name, I'm not gonna say her name, she was like, "Oh, hey Eileen." Eileen's not my real name, I just use that as a her name. She's like, "Hey Eileen, do you want this doll? And I'll give you whatever's left that people didn't buy." And I was like, "Sure." So then on October 28th, we came to pick her up and stuff. And, you know, it was like pretty cold then, and I had like, I don't know, I was just overly happy. And then for a while around Christmas, I didn't really play with her. I didn't really like her that much. I began to think that she was kind of ugly for some reason. And whenever I first got her, I really liked Lalaloopsy dolls. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get her so I can have the clothes for the Lalaloopsies. But then I realized that once I got her, that I loved her a lot more than my Lalaloopsies. So I decided that I wouldn't, and then I decided that I didn't really like the Lalaloopsies that much anymore. Anyway, and around Christmas, I didn't really do much with her. I didn't really like her all that much. But then it was like February. No, it was January, and I had just discovered AGTube. And how I discovered AGTube was like one Sunday, and it was pretty warm for that time of year. I was on the computer, and I was really bored, so I typed in AG dolls. And like all this stuff came up, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I seen a video of Felicity retiring, and I'll put a link for the very first AG related video I seen in the description. And I seen this video said Felicity is retiring, so I clicked on it. And on the thumbnail was Felicity, and I thought she was really pretty. And at the time in 5th grade, we were studying Paul Revere and the American Revolution. And then I seen the year 1774 or 75 or whichever, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's around the time period we're studying it. And the main reason I got her is because of her curlies and her green eyes and red hair, because I thought that her and Claire could pretty much be sisters. I mean, they look kind of like sisters. Anyway, and I was like, oh my gosh. So then I asked for her, and really, if it would have been up to my mom, I wouldn't have got Felicity. My dad pretty much convinced my mom that I should get Felicity. So yeah, and so I got her on May 21st, 2011, and she spent her birthday in a UPS truck. So I bought her the mini Felicity doll, the 25th anniversary one, and we got it on the last day of school as like a birthday present for her. And so yeah, how Clara got her little doll is like, I was going to buy a mini Emily doll for my friend. She's not that well off, and I knew she wouldn't be able to take that good, well, it's not that she wouldn't take good care of her. I just didn't really want to spend so much money on a big doll for her because I didn't have that money, and I really wouldn't spend that much money on someone else. Just because I didn't have the money, and I really didn't want to. I mean, so I got her, and I was like, oh, I really like Emily. So, and we went to Barnes & Noble again, and we got another mini Felicity. One for my friend, one for me to keep, and, well, long story short, now mini Emily has a blue headband instead of a red one, and a big blue streak in her hair. All in all, she looks a bit different than my Emily. Anyway, next on to Krista. And about it's like, before I even got Felicity, I was planning out all what other dolls I wanted to get. And really, whenever I was choosing between, just like number 21, who I will link a picture of who I will put a picture of in this video somehow. Because at the time I thought that just like number 7 looked more like me than number 23. But later then I realized I didn't have hair that dark, and I didn't have bangs, and I didn't have eyes that bright, and I also had freckles. So in reality, she didn't look anything like me. But back then I thought she looked a lot like me. So I was thinking about getting her, and I'll put a link to a picture of her in this video somewhere. And I was also thinking about getting number 28 because so many people had her, and I was like, oh, she's cute. And I was also deciding between Krissa. So, and like, I made a list of pros and cons, and eventually I decided on Krissa because, oh, and just letting you guys know, if I got number 28, I'm not sure what I was going to name her, but if I got number 21, I was going to name her Miyako. I don't know why, but Miyako, I just loved that name for her. And if I got number 7, I was going to name her Rosalie, and if I got Krissa, I was going to name her Krissa. So all in all, I boiled it down and decided I was going to get Krissa. And then it was like about mid-July, and it was right before a sleepover with my friend Sassa. That's not her real name. My friend Sassa and I were talking on the phone, and I was like, alright, so I was going to get Krissa, but now I think Rebecca is really pretty. Which one should I get? And she already knew what they looked like and stuff, and she's like, why don't you ask for Rebecca from, like, your grandparents and Krissa from your, real parents? And I was like, yeah, that'd be a good idea. So, and then it was like the day before our sleepover, and I told my mom her idea, and she's like, no, we're not doing that. Anyway, so, and so I talked to my mom about it, and she said, well, if you don't get Krissa now, you'll probably never get her. And all in all, I decided to get Krissa. And next is the story behind Kirsten. I was actually going to get Kirsten before Krissa. Overall, there was a lot of debating about which doll to get for Christmas that year. So I was going to get Kirsten, but then I looked at Krissa and I was like, oh, she's cute. And then that came down to what we were just talking about like 3 seconds ago. So, oh no. So we were looking on eBay. Like I had decided that I was going to get Kirsten for my 12th birthday. And by the way, I got Krissa on December 24th, 2011 because we were going to be really busy that Christmas day. And so I got to open all my presents on Christmas Eve. So anyway, I got Kirsten on May 11th, 2012. And I got her for my 12th birthday. I was in the 6th grade when I got her and Krissa, and I was in 5th grade when I got Claire and Felicity. Anyway, so I got Kirsten, and we were looking on eBay, and there were like hardly any Mattel Kirstens that were reasonably priced and new. So then I was looking on eBay, and I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, they have this cute Pleasant Company Kirsten, and she's in great condition, but she doesn't come with a book or a box. And my mom was like, we're getting one new in box. And I was like, well, why can't we get this one? I really like this one. So, and it was like the last 5 seconds of the auction. And no one was bidding on her at all. And she's like $91. And she came all the way from Michigan. And, oh no, we paid less for her than we would have if we were to buy Kirsten like new from American Girl if they hadn't retired her yet. So yeah, and that's pretty much the story of my dolls. My dolls have really built my life, I think, because if I didn't have my dolls, I really don't know where I would be today. As being myself, I would not have made these friends that I have. I wouldn't have ever, just thought that my life would be completely different without them overall. So that's pretty much what my dolls mean to me, and I really hope that you guys think that I really hope that your dolls mean the same to you. So yeah, you guys, Still Kick 28. Peace out, hot dogs.